this. All right, we're recording. We're a minute late, so we're going to jump into this right away. So today, basically what I'm putting out, guys, is I want to go over how to allow your clients to book an appointment with you. Now, the key to this is identifying that sometimes the client might not be ready to book the appointment, and you want to make sure that they are 100% committed to you going to their house, or for you showing them a property. The key to these items is to make sure that they are getting some type of reminder and that they're making it at their own discourse. The other thing is a lot of times we'll say, yeah, I'm available next Thursday. And then we look at our calendar, we're not available next Thursday. So this will eliminate that as long as you keep an accurate calendar. Now that is the key here, is that you do need to keep an accurate calendar. As far as calendar items, I suggest using Google. You can use Yahoo, you can use Outlook, you can use any of those other recourses. Most of them still will plug into the programs I'm about to talk to you about today, but you need to make sure that you have something that is unified. I will say that using your iPhone calendar is a little bit dangerous. I would always plug into a Google Calendar. It's just a little more robust, and it plugs into iPhone, so you're not losing any of the capability that iPhone gives you as well. So with that being said, I'm going to share my screen real quick. Throw this into here. So the program that we are talking about using today is called Calendly. Now, Calendly is a mobile functionality for a client to book a calendar item on your calendar. Now, there is a free version and a paid version. We're going to be talking just about the free version today. Free version is basically the functionality to allow you to create one event. If you go beyond one event, then you're going to pay for the subscription, or you can use a trick of the trade and create a couple different ones. So the way that we're going to get this started is we're going to create a Calendly. Okay, so to build that up, I'm going to create an additional Calendly because the one that I already have is going to be popping up anyway. So what you would do is type in your email here. While we do that, I'm going to log into the one that I have built. So this will show you the difference between what a paid account would look like and what a non-paid account would look like. So a paid account will allow you to have multiple services. A unpaid account will only allow you to have one service. So in this case, I've created an employment interview option to be distributed out there for somebody to book on my calendar at their leisure. Now, the benefit of this is that if I take this item and I open up a new incognito window and I press paste, by typing in that simple web address, it brings up my calendar. But it brings my calendar up in a functionality that they can now look at it at their discretion, at their timeline, and book on my calendar, and my calendar is live, so it will change. So if I click on here, it will load what my availability is. So for instance, today, on the 17th, or tomorrow, let's say today, I only have 4:30 available, okay? So the only time with my section of 30 minutes at this property address, I have a total of 4:30 available today. Tomorrow, I have 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11, and so on and so forth throughout the day. On Friday, I have some more times open. So it is looking at a live version of my calendar in order to determine what times are available. Now, why might this be beneficial? Somebody's not on mute. Hold on 2 seconds. I got Doris on sneezing. All right, so basically it gives you the functionality to allow for you to book a calendar item at your discretion. Now, the beautiful part is, once again, this is no cost. And you can book out a couple different ones, okay? So as I mentioned, the free version will only allow you to book one type of appointment, okay? Now let's go back to our actual setup. So you'll notice I have this one setup already built out. Now, if I go in here and I edit this type, it will allow me to say what type of event is this, or what event is this? I've created it as an employment review. Who can book this event, or when can people book this event? 30 minutes, 60 days rolling. So they can book up to 60 days in the future with me, okay? I can change this to 15 minutes, 45 minutes, 60 minutes, or I can create a custom version. Date range, it will say events can be scheduled over the next 60 days. Once again, I can edit that, okay? Availability, okay? So set your availability. Now this is the key here, is that you wanna create what availability you have. So even though you can set your calendar up, you don't want them booking at 8 o'clock at night because you don't have anything on your calendar at 8 o'clock at night. So in this case, I've set it between 9 and 5 p.m. And I've set that up for all the details. If I go into the advanced tab, it will allow me to set increments. So frequency of the availability of slots, show availability slots in 30 minutes, events per day. So if say you wanted to do listing appointments, okay, but you only want to do 2 listing appointments per day, because if you did 3, it might put you a little behind. So you would set 2 maximum intervals of that particular type. Minimum scheduling notice. So once again, let's use listing appointments. You don't want to book a listing appointment that short in advance, because you might have time to do your analysis and so on and so forth. So in this case, I've set 4 hours availability outside of my calendar. So they can't book it within 4 hours. They have to wait. You can set this to 18 hours. You can set it to days. You can set it to any of those points. Event buffers. Now, this is an important one. Use the set aside preparation, rest for travel time before and after events. I have no buffer in between, but let's say I know that it might take some of these people, I might have to go to Las Cruces. So I need to have an hour buffer. Okay, so I can set an hour buffer, and then I can set an hour buffer afterwards. And the reason I want to do this is because I want to have that buffer time to drive. Okay, and then I can create this as a secret event. Now, in this case, you wouldn't want to do that. I could save and close. Now, some additional questions are key, because maybe I want to have some questions about the listing appointment or questions about any of the details. Okay, so invitee questions. I have right now just name and email. Please share anything that will help us prepare for this meeting. But let's say I wanted to create a question that said, you know, how many bedrooms? I'm all conscious about this because of Erica last time. All right, so say this is a listing appointment and I want to find out how many bedrooms you have, how much square footage you have. I can create it as a 1-line answer, a multiple line, a radio button, check boxes, phone number, and so on and so forth. I can make this field required. And the moment I press apply, now that's been put onto here as a question that will be asked before the appointment is booked. Now, the benefit there is you can open that up to whatever you feel comfortable with, okay, to make sure that all the items are being identified. Press save and close. And then I have notifications and cancellation policy. Now, this is a real key item here, because you want to make sure that your appointments are being done correctly and that they're being notified and showing up. You don't want no-shows. So notifications, okay? So calendar invitations, this says switch to email confirmations, okay? So an event will be created on your calendar and the invitee will be added as an attendee. Requires a Google Office 365 or Exchange as those options. So some of the other calendars don't add the extra detail onto it. Now, do I have text reminders on here? Okay, now if you'll notice, if you try to press on, it's gonna try and make you upgrade. This is a text reminder for you, not for the invitees, okay? So they will get an actual text reminder availability. Same thing for email reminders, but if you want it, you have to pay for it, okay? So in this case, the only type of notification that you will get is a calendar invitation notification, all right? So whatever you've set up on your personal calendar, that will be how it's designed. And the same thing goes for email follow-up. Now, cancellation policy, okay? Customize your notifications with a cancellation policy as a premium feature. You can't do that in the free version. If you want to add an additional cancellation policy, you can create that. Traditionally, this is for people that are at charging or stuff like that, okay? Save and close. Next one we're going to go into is confirmation page, okay? Display a confirmation page or redirect to an external site. My suggestion is, if in this case, I don't need any additional site, but if you wanted to create it to go to a different site, you could go to a website right after they fill out their information. So the moment that they book that appointment, they will be directed to a website, and you can make that website whatever one you want. Now, on last, it says collect payments. That's not something we're going to do with a buyer appointment or a listing appointment, so I'm going to skip that one. Now, once all that is ready to go, check it out, look and see how it looks. It will create an employment interview. It has it booked at this address that is set up whenever you build out the account. In that case, if it is a buyer appointment or a listing appointment, you will want to add a question that says, are we meeting at your home or are we meeting at my office? Yes, no. If they're meeting at their home, you want to put the address of the property. That's key because you want to know where they're meeting, and you'll have to set up a notification to make sure they know where they're going. Okay, so that's a little extra step that you will have to do. Now, the moment that Calendly is booked, it is going to create, sorry, my screen moved a little bit. It is going to create a calendar item. For instance, this one right here. Okay, so in this case, it's created a Calendly item. All right, now in this, it says need to make changes or cancel this event or need to reschedule. They will be added to this Calendly event. Okay, it also has an address of the property that they're going to meet at. If they were going to meet at a different address, this is where you would want to change that address. Now, this is my calendar. It's on calendar.google.com, and it creates this automatically. Okay, now it creates the organizer, which would be you. It creates any attendees that are adding to that. It puts a location of the property or where we're meeting, and then it sets those additional items. Now, once that's created, you can go in and edit it and add some additional content, okay? It is important to understand that content is relevant when you're doing this, okay? Now, you've created an event. Now, what would be the purpose of having this opportunity to send this out to your clients? Well, before I talked about your ability to create a business page, okay? So if I were to create a business page, for instance, I just type my name into Google. If I go down here a little bit, it will allow me to book an appointment, okay? So actually go to my entire page. I'm not on right here, so appointments. So right here, where I have set more, I use a different version, it's a paid version, you would have Calendly, okay? When you clicked on Calendly, it would open up your schedule to be able to be booked. Now mine's this way, but yours would be directed to your page, which would look similar to this, and allow your clients to book with you via Google. Now, why is this so impactful? Because remember, guys, if you have that business page, you are now opening yourself up to the public and allowing them to make their determination at their discretion instead of yours. Now, the benefit there is that people will book that appointment with you, and when they book that appointment with you, they will get notifications, they will get all those details. This is without having to call you on the phone. Now, why do people not want to call on the phone? It's real simple. People are afraid of being sold something. So by allowing them the freedom to make it on their own discretion at their own timeline, you are giving them the opportunity to build out some rapport with you without ever actually even having to call you, okay? So they feel comfortable by the fact that you allowed them to book at their leisure. Now, the other part is that you can create this in a text message as well. So in the text message, you have the opportunity to send out a quick message that says, listen, I know you're not ready to book right now, but if I send this link out to you, you can book at your whenever you talk to your wife, whenever you look at when your calendar is open, whenever you look at what the kids' schedules are, any of those things. So you're giving them the freedom to book at their discretion and giving them the opportunity to make it much easier on them and opening that dialogue. So easy way to create appointments and put it out there. Now, where else could you put it? You can put it on Facebook, all right? So if you go onto Facebook, it has the same thing, the ability to book a appointment, sorry. So if you go to Facebook, you also have the ability under your personal business page, you can create an appointment functionality too. So you can create an additional button that pops up there and allows you. So instead of this call now, you could open this button and create it as a book now. So you could create it instead of call now, set it up to be a book an appointment now, and create that ability right here on your front page. Now, the benefit of that is that once again, they have the freedom to book with you at their discretion, at their leisure. It gives them the opportunity to build up that rapport rapport and break down that salesy tactic that they feel that they're going to be introed whenever they call you. Okay, so that gives you that functionality. So all you would do here is you would go to your business page, edit your button, copy over your page that you have here. Okay, so if I go back, I can edit this button. Okay, and I would just copy or add to website. You can do a lot of different things, or you can just copy the link here. You can also copy the main page. Now, on top of that, if you'll notice, mine is calendly.com/birds. Okay, if you want to change that, you would go up to your account and you would go to your account settings. And in here, you could upload your picture, add in additional content, date format, date timeline, and your calendar time zone. This is key because you want to know your time zone is correct. Branding, you could add a logo, Calendly branding, okay. My link, this is where you would edit this. So you could put any version of what you want to have here, and then you save that, and now you have that branded link that has calendly.com/ in this case birds. Okay, now I told you earlier that there's a way to get around having to pay for it. Now that's the key here. Let's log out of this. All right, so let's say I go to Calendly and I wanted to create an additional page. Okay, now in this case, what I would do is I would go to sign up. Now, if you have a Gmail account only, this only works with Gmail. So you can only kind of cheat if you have Gmail. All right, so in this case, I'm going to put Brian plus buyer appointment at brianbirds.com. Okay, now by adding this little plus sign right here, I've created an additional email. Now in this case, it's going to be Brian plus buyer appointment at brianbirds.com. When I click sign up, it's going to ask me to sign up with Google. You don't want to do that here. Okay, you're going to create an account with a password. So I'm going to type in a password. And create a password. Before continuing, they have to verify. This is why it has to be a valid email address. So I'm going to type in okay, and you'll notice in this appointment, it comes in Brian plus appointment, buyer appointment. Okay, so I'm going to verify that. Okay, remember, this is not me. It's trying to log into my other one. So I'm going to Brian plus buyer appointment at brianbirds.com. Put in my password. And now I have to create a new account. Okay, now here's the key to this is that now I have an account set up. My create my Calendly URL, I can create it as this. I can edit this to whatever I want it to be. I'm just going to leave it here and I'm going to press continue. Now, here's the big benefit. So they make you have a separate email, but they can connect into your standard Google Calendar. That's the beautiful part about this equation. So even if you have multiple emails going out there, you actually get away with it. Now, don't quote me on how long Calendly will let you get away with this. I'm sure when I post this on YouTube, it's probably going to go away even faster. But for right now, it's working, so use it as you can. So this says, do not check any calendars, do not add any events. I want to change that, and I'm going to say add it to my calendar. Okay, so let's say I want to add it to this calendar right here. Okay, I update that, and I want to add it to this calendar right here. Update that. Okay, press continue. So now it's going to check those calendars and book them on those calendars. I want to set my available hours, 9 to 5. What days? And then I create, just add other. And now I have a buyer appointment one as well. Now remember, on that side, nothing matters to whether they are going to create that. Now it creates a couple templates for you. It puts you into a version that is a like a demo version that gives you opportunity to open up other events. Once you pass the 14 days, they're going to restrict it down to 1. So just build out 1, don't build out 5. Build out 1 per email that you create. Remember, if you have Gmail, you can do this kind of unlimited. They may eventually catch on, but at the end of the day, they don't have it right now. This also works with .loop, so you can create it that way as well. Guys, that's pretty much the extent of the basics of creating a Calendly account. What are some of the opportunities that you can use that Calendly account? Does anybody have any questions? Throw them into the chat and I'll bring you off mute if you'd like. No? Let's see what I got. We can use it on .loop. Can you embed the calendar into a website? So to answer both your questions, yes, you can do. On .loop, you could send it via, so you could send it via .loop. I don't know that there'll be a way to embed it in .loop, but there'd probably be a way that you could put it somewhere. So let me show you how you could embed it on the website. So if you click on this little edit function, if you scroll down to add to website, inline embed, pop-up widget, okay, or a pop-up text. So if you want to see examples of what that means, you can click on this little item. So embed inline, okay, lets you put the page right there. These the options, browse the links, answer link below. So you can click on each embed inline. So in a sales marketing tactic, so you can click on here and it embeds it. If I wanted to look at pop-up text, basically I would click on the text and it would open up a different page, so a pop-up window. Or you could put it in a pop-up widget, which puts it down at the bottom here. And you could click that and it would open up as a pop-up window. So the answer is, Rob, yes, you can. And there's no charge. They don't charge for that opportunity. Any other questions? I did want to show something that I've been talking about for a while, and that's a Bitly account. I strongly suggest a Bitly account because Calendly won't track how many people click on stuff. So I would create a Bitly so I know how many appointments that I'm getting booked. Hold on, there was one other question that popped up here. Is there a limit on how many times you can share it? No, there is not. There's not a limit on how many times you can use it. You can send it out, you can blast it out. Like I said, I showed you how you can put it onto Google and share it out through Google. So it will give you the functionality anybody clicking through Google could book for you, okay? But I mentioned Calendly before. Bitly, I'm sorry. So bit.ly is the website. So if you go to bit.ly, okay, it opens up. Now I have a Bitly account, so it opens my account. But here's the thing. So this gives me the functionality to allow for me tracking the information. It also allows me to do what's called a website shortener. So I can create, I have one that's already built out. So I have birds.co, but you can just create Bitly shortcuts. So if you wanted to create a Bitly, basically what would happen is I just change it to bit.ly. I would paste the URL here. So let's say I want to use this one. Go back. So I'm going to use this one and I'm going to shorten this. So when I create that bit link, I paste in my URL here. And I would make this as a birds.co, yours would be bit.ly. And then I can edit this here and I could create this as buyer appointment or whatever I wanted it to be. So whatever is available, they'll let you use, okay? It just gives you the opportunity to create a little short link. But what the benefit is that I can see at any time how many people are looking at my link. So I've had 439 total clicks through on the system. It'll show me my top refer, so I can look at Calendly.birds. I can look at all that information. I can look at any of these classic easy offer. I can see that it's had 19 clicks. Classic Americans resource, I can see how many that has, and so on and so forth. So the training, for instance, this training has a link. It's bit.ly/C21train. So by clicking that, I know that somebody clicked on it, and I can see what kind of traffic I get. So just adds that little extra ability to track what's going on. Is it going to make a world of difference? It just tells you what's actually working and what's not. Like you can create one for Google, and then you could create one that you send out on text messages, and then you could create one that you send out on your email. And you could tell, is my email getting more appointments booked, or is Google getting more appointments booked? And you can see what's going on. So bit.ly is a powerful resource to be using to track your resources, and it just saves lots of time in knowing what's working and what's not. So any other questions for me? Okay. Well, guys, I appreciate you joining me, and hopefully you guys can all jump in there. Like I said, you can create a bunch of them. Just remember, because we're using the free account, you can only use one event type per email that you create. And remember, if you have Gmail, you just add this little plus button right here. So Brian plus buyer appointment at brianbirds.com, and all that. You can put listing appointment, you can put any of those other resources, and then you can have your main account just be Brian at Brian Birds. So other than that, guys, I appreciate you taking a few moments. If you ever have any questions or concerns, you can always send those to me direct. You can post those on the YouTube page. You can also, if you have any trainings that you want to see, anything that might be helpful, please also share that with me. Guys, I try to keep these between 30 and 40 minutes, and I'm trying to keep them up every Monday. But if you have any other questions, don't hesitate. Reach out, text, email, whatever works best for you. All right, guys, appreciate your time, and I'll put the links in the YouTube page for all these resources that I've added, and you can watch this. It will be uploaded to YouTube in about 5 minutes. Appreciate it. Talk to you later.